Hey there, everybody. It's Kevin from Storytellers Union, and just popping in to wish you one a very happy holidays. I hope that everyone is having um, time with family and friends and enjoying the season. But if you're following us here on Facebook, and thank you, by the way, for doing so. If you've been following along this week, you will see that in addition to the holidays, we are celebrating this week the anniversary or birthday. I'm not sure what you'd call it with an album, but anyway, it was 7 years ago. Actually, today it was 7 years since the debut of our first album. So I'm going to reflect on that just a little bit and what It's About Time, the album, means to us as a band, what it means to me, and just maybe some stories we haven't shared yet before. If you checked out our Instagram, happen to be checking it out today, you probably will be hearing some similar stories. I did an Instagram live over there. And if you don't follow us on Instagram, there's a plug for you to do so. If you actually, any of our social medias, wherever you are, whatever social media you consume, YouTube, TikTok now, our Instagram, of course, here on Facebook. But it'd be doing us a huge favor if you would just go ahead and give us a follow. We'd very much appreciate that. Uh, Thank you. I appreciate that, Dan. It is a birthday, It's About Time came out December 15th, 2015, and gosh, 7 years goes fast. I think with everything in the world, the last few years, time just has seemed to go even faster than it normally would. But when I think back, honestly, as much as the time that has gone by, I think I'm less surprised by the fact that it's already been 7 years than still surprised by the fact that it ever happened at all. Because honestly, most of the songs on that first album we had been kicking around for 15 years or more. Most of that time, we were not even considering ourselves a band, not calling ourselves Storytellers Union. All of that came later. In fact, everything that we have had that's come since has really something we owe to It's About Time. It was a self-imposed deadline we gave ourselves that if we are going to write this music, rather than just workshop these songs over and over again, that we would hold ourselves accountable. If we just would actually consider something finished, we can move on to other things instead of accumulating this huge backlog of material that we would constantly record, re-record, and play around with. But if we made ourselves accountable to all of you, if we promised something that we had to deliver, it would make us finish it, and it would sort of make us, it would turn us into a real band, as it were. Pinocchio here wanting to be real boys, right? That really is the way that it kind of worked out. In some ways, it was such a relief when the album came out, because I could feel like some of these songs that have been monkeys on our back were off, and that we could actually do it, and that we could actually move forward. Because there was a time I really didn't think of us being able to deliver a debut album. Writing songs, recording songs, putting out albums, that's something we did when we were kids, right? That's something we did when we were messing around with that 4-track and 8-track. And I was happy if I could sell you a cassette tape of my high school band out in the parking lot at the school. I mean, that's what music was. It wasn't something that professional adults our age were able to like still do for fun, right? I mean, but it can be, and that's what we convinced ourselves, and we walked we walked it after we talked it. And this Facebook page, the YouTube channel, the Instagram, all the things I mentioned, all of that really is because of It's About Time. We didn't have a social media presence or had even thought about such things until we decided, yeah, yes, we can do this. We're going to do this. And that is why this page started to begin with. You go back and look and see whatever it says our uh, our date where this page was created. I'm sure it was probably October, November of that year, specifically for the fact of promoting this album, letting everyone know that we are a band, we have this project, and we are putting out these songs. So we owe a lot to It's About Time, even though looking back 7 years ago at these songs, it's easy for us to maybe nitpick things that we would do different if we were doing them today. I know Doug isn't here, and if he was, he would certainly be probably complaining about a guitar part here or sound there or thin production or whatever. It was actually part of the trap that we had gotten ourselves into, is that we could always do it better because we could. There was always new equipment we were getting. We were getting more proficient as we moved along in this process of these songs. But because of that, we never finished any of these songs. It was always waiting for the opportunity to make them better, waiting for the opportunity to get that new guitar, get that new part, try a different vocal take. It was always something, and in many ways, it was a crutch we were leaning on that kept us from ever finishing these songs. So sure, there are things that I think we could probably do better today if we did it. I know that it would probably sound better. I thought our second album sounded much richer, much fuller. And cheap plug here, but our third album, Leave Your Darlings, which I hope, fingers crossed, will come out in 2023. I know we've been promising that for a few years now, but hopefully if it comes out in 2023, you'll find it is improved still from album number 2, because I mean, that really is sort of the point. If we're going to do this, we should be getting better at it. And I feel like this next batch of songs, the way they sound, the way they are turning out, you've had a preview. Obviously, there's been 2 or 3 videos that we've put out, early pre-release singles. I think that we're onto something that we're excited about sharing. But if we go back to 2015, we were excited about sharing those 12 songs as well. And so even though it bears the hallmarks of a first-time project and the limitations we had with technology and things at the time, I still think it holds up. I wouldn't really change a whole lot. Maybe we'll get an opportunity one day to re-record some of these songs, but truthfully, had they not existed in the form that they exist, none of the things that came after would have come up after. And it's been a blessing and a privilege to be able to have any sort of social following and anyone listening to our stuff. I mean, the way that it was headed, we were just finishing songs that only we could enjoy, and maybe the friends that we might share those songs with. But what was the point in that when we have this more than we ever did when we were young and selling those cassettes? We have this opportunity to present ourselves to the world and to anyone that wants to consume this music. To that end, if you have not heard It's About Time, probably strange that you're watching this first off, but if you haven't by any chance heard our debut album, it is still available. It is over on our Bandcamp page. You can find the Bandcamp address. You can find it in the links section here on the website. You can do a Google search of Bandcamp Storytellers Union. It'll come up. Streaming for free, so it is still out there. It is still available, and go check it out. It is 12 songs, and I would still put a few of those songs as my favorite, even with all we've done since. Close the Window, Past is Present Again is one that we repeatedly get told is someone's personal favorite. It seems to be something that folks have gravitated to a lot, which we appreciate. I think those hold up. I still love those songs of mine. I love Closer of Jerry's. I think that is still a fantastic song. I know she thinks that she could probably wish she had another stab at recording it, but I like the version that she did on that first album. Time and Temperature, Where We Are. There's just many songs on that album that I still adore, and hopefully you all will as well. And if you do, drop it in the comments. Let us know which ones you like, which ones you would like to hear. If you were creating a Storytellers Union set list, which of the songs off that debut album would you be hoping to hear? Definitely let us know that. We'd be curious. So it's about time. Why did we put it out this close to Christmas? I mentioned it today in our Instagram live that we did, that it was not intentional to be this close to Christmas. This is the dead zone when it comes to music. You don't put things out at a time when everyone is busy and distracted. You wait and hold that till January. But as I mentioned, we put a self-imposed target on ourselves that we were going to get this album out in 2015. And originally we were probably thinking summer becomes fall becomes late fall. Next thing you know, we're pushing into the holidays. And if we were going to deliver on that promise, we barely got it in at the last minute. And that is why it was no grand plan to do December 15th as a release date, but we had promised ourselves something, and we were very happy that we were able to fulfill that promise for ourselves. And that it found an audience is just a bonus, and that it led to a second album and soon a third, an EP also in between those first two albums. I mean, it's kind of amazing what those 12 songs have brought us, and we're appreciative of every bit of it. So thank you. Thanks for tuning in and listening to me talk a little bit about our first album, It's About Time. Go listen to it. Give it a listen if you haven't in a while. See what you think about it today. And Merry Christmas, everybody. If we don't get to talk to you again before the holidays, we hope you have a great Christmas and a Happy New Year. We're hoping that we get an album out for you. I had someone here ask me in the comments, yes, Pete, I will be still doing a best of list. As with everything else, it seems this holiday season, with things being the rush that they are, I find myself a little behind, but I have kept notes throughout the year. And I know it was had some high engagement last year when I posted my best albums, what I thought were the best albums of 2021. And I will be working again on 2022's list, trying to make those final decisions, and I hope to get things posted as soon as next week. You should start seeing that roll out. So again, accountability, hold me accountable to that. Thanks, Randy. Merry Christmas to you as well. You Scrooge. If you know Randy, you'll know that was actually a nice thing to call him. But folks, appreciate you tuning in. And again, Merry Christmas. Happy birthday to It's About Time. Storytellers Union wishes you a happy 2023. See you there.